Hello everybody. Um, this is my my 10th game actually. Um, Still playing at Sridan, and I found it more and more difficult to get opponents. I wonder if it has something to do with my winning streak, or maybe some other factors. But anyway, let's talk about the game. We both start with a Hoshi and a 3/4 stone facing the Hoshi. And Black's development is to play the Chinese opening, the classic Chinese opening, and I will just play along. It's very common for white to approach this corner nowadays. Uh, there's also old-fashioned ways or variations where white plays here. It was the first move against the Chinese opening because in earlier days the Chinese opening was aiming to make Moyo, and nowadays it also has territorial variations, so it changed a little bit, or it became more flexible. So more and more players like to play this opening as black. Nevertheless, it's a very solid opening. As you can see, black is building a wall to defend this territory, so it's very, very solid. And white is very fast. He got the corner and one more stone on the side. In the corner there's some Aji. You can probably play Ko at some point, but for both players it's too small to start something in the corner right now. And at some point also black should connect here. Yeah. Hmm. I wonder what I should do. I could pincer. Nothing wrong with that. But I could also take a corner, which would also not be too bad. I just don't want to fight in this area, and I'm not sure when I should reduce all these points around here, or this territory around here. For example, I'm considering to play Kema here to defend the corner, and he'll probably play here or here, most likely here. It's a very standard move in the Chinese opening. And then I would approach this corner. He most likely will play here. I will attach, and yeah, basically he will make this side, and I will make some light shape around here, I guess. Yeah, let's do that. So everything has happened as expected. Um, Sometimes it's possible to retreat here. Black will play here and white will play here. Black will jump and white can come under, but in these circumstances, white will kick here first. And then black is not alive, and like white is not alive and black has some severe move around here. So maybe I should play a little bit lighter here. To reduce this area from the top. Usually this shape is not good because I can cross cut. Wow. Actually, this is some kind of Juzeki in some variations, but usually black is playing Hane here. And after I Atari, he can also Atari. And then it's a very heavy pull for both players. But in this case, it's just good for white. Yeah, I think so. Black has not so many points. It's on the third line everywhere. White is fairly solid and also reduced this area. And most importantly, white has a strong position, so he has no worries about this group anymore. My shape is good. Yeah, I will push once, maybe push here first. Yeah, I will push here first. And then I will push here. In this case it's okay to push, because if he pushes up, I'm losing eye shape. And if he just plays here, this shape is very over-concentrated. This whole shape here is very over-concentrated. And yeah, this is less than 20 points. This is maybe 10 more, maybe more than 10, 15. So 35 at most in this area after I play this schema. And some points around here, maybe 10 more. Actually probably more than 10, but not much. So let's say 50 in total. This is 10, this is 5, this should be 5. So it's 20, 25. Depends how much you count for this area. I would say more than 5, probably also 10. So 35 plus Komi 40. And then should be fine for white. This is just a test move. In most cases, it's best to just extend here. Sometimes you can also pull back, but that's usually when you want to attack this stone. Because if you pull back, black will most likely continue with playing Hane here. And yeah, it will be some fight coming up, and white already is very low on points. Oh, yes. I can extend for now. Because if I get a move here, this wall is very effective. I think. Yeah. So I don't feel like I lost something in this area. It seems like I lost points in the corner, which is true. But this influence and one stone at the side is worth much also. Well, so now he is like claiming this area to be his. And I will just play an asking move here. If he answers, I will expand my Moyo on this side. And later I can come back around here somewhere. Answering here is very small now. Yeah, this is like 15 points. Plus whenever he will cut here, he will get some 5 more. So this will be 20, 40, 55. And this will be 10 to 5, depending. With this, maybe 10. 2 stones here, 10. This area is already like 5 points. So 25. Homie 30. And I hope this area or this area, depending on what black will do next, will be around 50. And I'm actually quite positive because if I get only this bottom part, for example, it's already like 30. Ah, he's fixing my weakness. Usually that's not a good way to play. If you fix your opponent's weakness and have a weakness yourself, the stone is not very strong. Usually he should add one more move for the stone, and it's not quite evident where to play actually. If you want to attack, this should be the correct move. He did not. Uh, well, we'll just play safe for now. I will tarry once and just make it alive. I think. Should I? Maybe not yet. If I break out, I will reduce this area and there's some problems with this shape. So he cannot kill, I think. Yeah. And if he tries to, he is risking also to lose a lot of points. Now I could come back if I wanted to. I should probably, because if I extend he will get some jump and I still have to come back, and extend for jump might be bad exchange. And he locally doesn't have a move to fix his shapes. For example, if he harness, I have Atari and I can still cut the shapes. So I'm not very worried about this. And this is a very bad move. I saw it before, several times actually. It looks like very feisty, but actually it's just helping white because it's building a big wall. And now I even get the corner, which was not entirely mine yet. This is not enough for black. If I just get all these points, this is my center by the way, I think. It's like 30, 40, 50. It's a bit more than 50 points. Massive. He's trying to cut my shapes in order to fight, it seems like. Which might be a good idea. But his shapes are problematic also. So let's see who will win this fight. The problem with his shapes is that I can Atari and cut him here. The problem with my shape is that he can think about cutting me here. And then it's very unclear what's gonna happen. I feel like nothing too drastic for nobody if I just Atari and sacrifice this one stone. Like Atari, extend, Atari, connect, somehow capture the stone, I'm not sure how. Probably this way. Then cut. And the situation should be at least fine for white. This way. So I just connect. I can still cut you. Huh. I could try to connect, but it's not so good. And Gote. Not so big and Gote. So I will try to reduce the center, potential center territory, while somehow saving my stones. For example, this one is a big move. And what now? This is very big. This is very big. Maybe this is not so big. I think this is the biggest move, probably. You can cut now, but I can Atari once. Wow. Wow. I did not expect this, I have to say. I will try to get some more points by pretending to be connected here. Even if I'm not connected, he will have some liberty problems at some point. And yeah, this will be my center at some point for sure. Maybe now. So again, I profit a little bit. These points never were really mine, and if he wants to take them, maybe Hane is a better way. And connecting here should be his center. Also very, very big. Can I capture? I think I can. You can connect his shapes by playing here, for example. Yeah, this is another way. It's connected for sure. Hmm. I'm a little bit discontent because you can connect here at some point. And connecting here kills the corner unconditionally. Maybe I should have thought this a little bit further through. Ay, 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 ay. This is getting nasty. So I had to exchange this first. Hmm. How to solve this? I need to play here. I don't have other options. And he still has the code. Wow, I was really lucky because this is now like Miai. So I have no problems in this area anymore. Seems like. And I will just connect my defend my corner and see if he will connect. Okay, he will not connect. Now the core is even heavier for him. He can win more, but he can also lose a lot more. And that's why I will higher the risk for him by cutting here. Also my risk is a little bit higher now. But for example in this area he doesn't have a next coast threat. This is not center anymore because this is capturing, making an eye here and capturing 2 stones would be Miai. Maybe I would still capture 2 stones because it's very, very big. Probably bigger than the coast still. But I'm not very certain about it. Yeah. So now I can connect happily. This turn is getting really big very soon. because it's double center, almost double center. Black doesn't want to capture these two stones anymore. But if he pushes, I can probably connect here or first Atari. Wow. Wow. Does this help? Doesn't really look like. Now here. It's a very good move to have more Adi, but not enough. I'm winning by too much. I will just defend. I think I'm winning by too much. Now this is even more center than before because he has two weak stones around here which could be captured with this being center, if this would be center. And yeah, move like sorts. This is not center but quite big. And this is double center, so I will play it now. This turn also seems to be almost center. Almost. Yeah, this is very big. You can still capture the two stones, but I can get all these two moves on the outside, which is 4 points Gote or 2 points Sente, which is a lot, and he's losing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points. So something like 9 points Gote, which is a very, very big move. And now this should be the biggest move. I can follow up with clamping here, which is really annoying. And he even lost points around here, I feel. He has like 25 here. Not 35 anymore. Maybe 35 was too much anyway. 43, 44, 50. Something like 55. He always has something like 55. He's creating some points somewhere and losing points at other places, like here. And maybe here. And I have something like 22, 30, 45, 55, 63, something like 68 plus Komi. So I should win by something like 20, very roughly estimated. So even more, this move is important. It takes points from this area and it engraves the Aji around here. It's pretty much center actually. Pretty much. Yeah. So center move, which is this big, has to be played quite fast, otherwise he won't get it anymore. This also has some endgame value, and I'm wondering if I can clamp afterwards. That would be really devastating for him. Looks like I can. If he plays here, I can just Atari and connect, and he will lose the semi. If he plays here, he can connect under, but I already reduced his points by a lot. Yeah, this is one of his other options, but in this case I can push and connect with this group, which is even more devastating, I think. How to answer? Connect here, this one. If he plays here, he can still connect under, but I capture 2 stones in center, and this is unbearable. Also, I don't have to capture these 2 stones. I can also just turn and further attack these stones if I want to. But I don't want to, because this is probably even bigger in point value. He can save this. If I play here, if I turn, he will tarry first. I have to connect my stones. He will connect here. And maybe I will play here to defend my 5 stones again. So these 2 stones are saved in center. And then he will try to connect here, and if I cannot kill the whole group, I will have lost points by not capturing these 2 stones. And like this, he will play here, and I can clamp, and his points in this area will be very, very small anyway. So I'm not worrying about anything anymore. I'm a rich man. Actually, talking about being a rich man, I have to think of China, because I've heard so many things about China in my studies and from Chinese people, and it feels like a lot of things are all about money. For example, I will play this code just for fun. Um, for example, if you want to marry, at least the parents will ask, or how to explain it in the most accurate way. Yeah, probably parents will really ask the husband how much he's earning, what's his income, what's his job, does he have a car, does he have Does he have a house or an apartment? And probably this is rooted in the aftermath of the Cultural Revolution, where Chinese people in general were really poor, couldn't sustain themselves, had to think how to feed their children until the next day or for the next few days. And that was a big problem, and I feel this is why Chinese culture has changed with Deng Xiaoping in the 70s, because this tradition of communism led to many people suffering a lot, and Chinese culture changed, in my opinion, to a very capitalistic one, very capitalistic society with capitalistic ideals, maybe even more than America, which often is portrayed in Europe as one of the most, or maybe the most, capitalistic country in the world. But yeah, that's just some random thought which popped up in my mind after talking about being a rich man. Probably because I heard it so often. Yeah, black is winning this call. It seems like he has a lot of post threats here. I don't. He has one here. Probably this should be a close threat. Very big also. And center. Maybe even something like cutting here can be a close threat. It would be too risky for the game to not answer this. Basically, I played this core just to tell you a story. Wow, he lost on time. Seems lucky for me. So, thank you all for watching and hope you enjoyed. See you next